Folks, welcome back to another episode of The Fallen Badge. Today, the murder of Officer Timothy Brenton, Seattle Police Department, Washington. Officer Brenton was 39 years old. He had 9 years with the Seattle Police Department. He had a wife, a son, and a daughter. His mom and daddy were still alive. He had a bonus mama, and he had a brother and a sister. Now, his father and his uncle were both retired Seattle police officers. Now, Officer Brenton had been in the U.S. Army, and he'd served during the Gulf War. Our story's going to begin on October 22nd, 2009. Now, this is 9 days before the murder of Officer Brenton. The suspect, who had a grudge against the police, he cut through a fence that surrounded the City of Seattle Vehicle Maintenance Facility. Now, it was over there in the city's industrial district. Now, this area, known as South Charles Street Yard, it also housed some of Seattle PD's equipment. So he set fire to the police department's mobile precinct, which was, of course, an RV. Now, he posted sheets of paper threatening a lot of police funerals. He also put some paperwork out there that he dubbed a manifesto that compared the police to King George's redcoats. Now, he put pipe bombs under several parked patrol cars. Now, these pipe bombs were detonated as the firefighters were trying to extinguished the burning command center. Now, there was an 8-inch survival knife that was stabbed into the roof of one of the patrol cars, and affixed to that knife was an American flag. So now it's about 10:06 p.m. October 31st, 2009, Halloween night. It's Saturday night. Officer Brenton and his partner, they're on 29th Avenue. Now, they're just a little bit north of East Yesler Way. Now, his partner was a trainee. Now, they had just done a traffic stop, so they were sitting there discussing what she did right, what she did wrong. According to her testimony in court later, he went over the importance of knowing where you're at all times. He even gave her an example, saying we're on 29th Avenue, just a little north of East Yesler Way. Now, Officer Brenton, he's in the passenger seat. Trainee's behind the wheel. Now, a light-colored small car pulled up, stopped next to him. Whoever was in the car started blasting away with a semi-automatic weapon. The vehicle then left the scene northbound on 29th Avenue. Now, the trainee, she got out of the driver's side, and a round had went across her vest near her neck area, so she was very lucky she was not killed. Now, after she got out, she cranked off some rounds at the car. She would later say she didn't understand why her partner didn't get out to help her. Then she looked back into the car and she saw that Officer Brenton was dead. He'd been hit multiple times in the head. Now, she called for help. Other cars got there. Now, in that crime scene, they found an American flag bandana that was lying in the street, evidently left by the suspect. Now, later, this American flag bandana would be turned the calling card of the suspect. It was pretty quick. The police are thinking this has got to be related. The burning of the police vehicles, pipe bombs, American flags, dead police officer. So now the police start their investigation. They pulled the video on all the dash cameras of all the police cars anywhere in that area, and they were able to get a pretty good description of the suspect vehicle. It was a 1980s Datsun 210. Now, that description and that video of that car was released to the public. Now, just about a week later, the manager of the apartment complex, he calls the police, says she thinks one of her tenants lives over here in the terrace apartments. That's in the 3700 block of 56th Avenue South. He's got a car that looks just like that, and he's got a tarp, and he keeps it covered. Now, this address is in a neighboring city south of Seattle. So the police get over there to the apartments, and they didn't locate the suspect, but they found the car. So now they got a police investigator and a prosecutor. They're writing up a search warrant for the car. And detectives are going over there, and they're going to seize the car. Now, a Seattle investigator and a officer from this neighboring city had been staking out the apartment complex. Now, they saw the suspect pop out of one of the buildings in the breezeway. Now, the suspect evidently must have seen the sergeant on his police radios. He started walking towards the van that the sergeant occupied. Well, now the sergeant, he did the right thing. He just drove slowly out of the complex. Now, that suspect was walking, continued to walk after the van like he wanted a confrontation. Now, about that time, 3 investigators with Seattle Police Department, they're getting out of their cars. They see the suspect, and they start walking towards the suspect. So he starts walking back towards them. Now, the suspect, he had his hands in his jacket pockets. All of a sudden, he doubles back, and he starts running towards the apartment complex, and he hits one of the stairwells. Well, the investigator in the lead, he rounds that corner of the stairwell, and there's the suspect. And he's pointing a pistol at the investigator. Well, he pulls the trigger, and the gun doesn't work. The sergeant, who would have been victim number 2 of this suspect, he said he could hear the gun's firing pin striking. I come to find out, firing pin hit an empty chamber because the suspect forgot to rack around in there before he got the ball rolling. So now the investigator, he stumbles back, gets out of the stairwell, and he's hollering at the other investigators. The suspect's armed. So now everybody's got the gun out. Well, the suspect, he makes a break for his apartment. Now the 3 investigators all fired twice at the running suspect, and they hit him, and he went down. Not dead, but paralyzed. He was hit in the head and in the lower body. One of those rounds hit his spinal column. So he's taken into custody, and they do a search of his apartment. They find 4 bombs and numerous firearms, including a rifle that I believe later turned out to be the one that had killed Officer Brenton. Now, he had a bomb rig to blow up if somebody turned on a light switch there at the stovetop. So now the police did a good job figuring out there was something wrong. So they cleared the apartment, deactivated all the bombs successfully. Now the suspect, he got charged with the firebombing of the police vehicles. That was on July 23rd, 2015. He was convicted of murder, attempted murder, and arson. Now he was sentenced to life, and he died in prison January 18th, 2017. Officer Timothy Q. Brenton. End of watch, October 31st, 2009.